November 6th. Does this date ring a bell for you? It is the day that you and I will join with millions of Americans in voting. As November 6th draws near, I cannot help but to think about what brought me here today as a voter. I'm 23 years old, I'm a U.S. citizen, I'm a woman, and I'm Black. If this were the early 20th century, I would probably be a part of a very disenfranchised group, which is why I felt it necessary to inform you on how to vote. After all, it is your patriotic duty. I will teach you how to vote, starting from the registration process, doing a little research, as well as casting your ballot at the polls. Any person can't just show up on election day at the polls expecting to vote. You do actually have to register. First, you want to make sure that you're eligible to vote. Visit your state's Board of Election website and it'll inform you of your state-specific eligibility requirements. I'm a Maryland resident, so it requires that I'm a U.S. citizen, I am a Maryland resident, I have to be at least 16 years of age to register, I must be mentally capable to register, I cannot have been convicted of buying or selling votes, and I cannot have been convicted of a felony. Now, where do you actually get the forms to register? Typically, you can find them at your local motor vehicle administration office or any government agency, including state or local board of elections office, any public institution of higher education, or the recruitment offices of the U.S. Armed Forces. You fill out the form and mail it in. Typically, the information that you'll be entering is, of course, your name, your driver's license or state ID number, as well as at least the last 4 digits of your social security number. Another thing that you may need to know is that you need to know when to actually submit your registration. Certain states have registration deadlines in order for you to be eligible to vote the upcoming election. Also, if you're overseas or serving in the military, there's what's called a federal postcard application or a Maryland voter registration application where you would fill out the information accordingly so that you may vote overseas. After you mail in your voter's registration card or drop it off at your local MVA office, you'll have to do some research. Where do you begin? Find out who's in your ballot. Typically, your party affiliation will determine who you can vote for. You can obtain this information also from your State Board of Election website. For the Maryland State Board of Election website, all you have to do is enter your name, your zip code, and your date of birth. And based on your voter's registration, it'll pull up all of the candidates who you can vote for. Ask yourself a few questions as well. You want to get a feel for the issues that you believe in, especially the ones that affect your local community. And then you also want to make sure that you know who supports those issues and who you think will follow through. After you've made your decision about the key issues that are important to you and what candidates will fulfill those issues, you want to internalize it, memorize it, and go vote. In order to vote, you do also need to know your poll location. When you receive your voter's registration card in the mail, it'll tell you exactly where to go. Allocate a time throughout the day to vote. You may also want to consider early voting if it's an inconvenience to vote come Tuesday, November the 6th. My voting location is 2 minutes away from my home at the local elementary school. I'm probably going to go right before I go to work, ensuring enough time to make it to work in time. Typically, all you'll be doing is signing in with the volunteer. They'll direct you to where you need to go. When I went to vote, I handed them my voter's registration card. They gave me an electronic card. I went to the poll booth, the voting booth, and I inserted the card into the machine. This was really cool because after I did that, it brought up an entire screen that instructed me on how to go through the voting process. From there, I just touched the screen, voting for each candidate that I would like to vote for, and it brings you to a final screen showing you all of the candidates that you voted for. This is the point where you need to make any changes necessary. Make sure that you've chosen everybody that you feel is best for each position. After you've done that, you simply save the form, take out your card, and bring it to the poll volunteer. Then the poll volunteer will bring you an I voted sticker. And congratulations, you have just exercised your natural right to vote. The 15th Amendment states, the right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or any state on account of race, color, or previous conditions of servitude.